Assalamu alaikum. One of the biggest problems almost everyone who memorizes the Quran faces, and honestly I used to struggle with it too, is memorizing a surah and then forgetting most of it in just a day or two later. And then reviewing it becomes difficult. It almost feels like you have to memorize the whole thing again from scratch. The solution I want to talk to you about today is called spaced repetition. If you struggle with this problem, keep watching because I'm going to show you how to fix it. And if you don't have this problem, that's okay. You can still benefit from this video. And at the end, I'll give you a simple way to apply this method in just a few seconds using a simple prompt. So let me first explain what's actually happening. Let's say today I'm going to memorize Surah Al-Fil. I memorize it and I memorize it really well. Everything is good. But if I wait a whole week before reviewing it, it feels almost as difficult as memorizing it for the first time. And if you've ever experienced this, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. The solution is something called spaced repetition. Basically, it means reviewing what you've memorized at gradually increasing intervals over time. What does that mean? Take a look at this diagram so you can see what I mean. Here, you have the day you first memorized something. Your attention is at 100%. But because it's the first time you've learned it, you start forgetting it pretty quickly. Over the next couple days, your attention might drop all the way down to around 10%. Now you review it a week later when your retention become 0%. That's exactly what makes it as hard as first time memorizing it. So what should you do? You should review it again after one day when your retention is 70%. You reinforce it to 100% again, but notice what happens next. Your forgetting becomes slower. So now you can wait longer before your retention drops back to 70% and you need to review it again. And you keep doing this until the rate of forgetting becomes very small. That's it if you want to understand why this works. If this was a little confusing, forget it, no problem. Let's focus on how actually use it. Let's say I memorized Surah Al-Fil today at 8 a.m. I'll review it again at 12 p.m. That's 4 hours later. Then I'll leave it for another 12 hours before the next review. Then one day, then 2 days, then another 2 days, then 4 days, then 7 days, each before the next review. I think 7 days is a really good maximum interval when you're starting out. After that, you can move it into your regular weekly review schedule. And this way, you're not giving your memory enough time to completely forget what you memorized before you remind it again. This is how it works. And trust me, your memorization becomes much stronger and you'll forget much less when you follow a schedule like this. But there's one important thing to remember. You need to leave time between your reviews because the secret isn't repetition, it's spaced repetition. I've personally followed this system and the results have been amazing. Of course, there are other things that I do as well, and I'll share this with you in the future videos, inshallah. Otherwise, this video would be too long. But this kind of system can help you reach a point where you've memorized one juz, two juz, 10 juz, and you can still remember what you've memorized really verse by verse. I recommend this to anyone who genuinely wants to memorize the Quran, not someone who forgets the last surah when memorizing the new one. Because if you're going to put in all the effort to memorize, you should not let it slip away. Do everything you can to keep it memorized. I have one of my students who was following this method with me. He eventually memorized more than 5 juz, but then he started getting lazy with his reviews, and now he's forgetting a lot of surahs he memorized. He's basically losing months of memorization in just a matter of days. So, now let's say you're convinced. All you have to do is this prompt. Give it to any AI chat tool, ChatGPT for example, and tell it what you memorized. And when you memorized it, it will then create you a schedule based on what we just talked about. The schedule will give you the exact days and times when you should review what you memorized. And if also you want someone to remind you, there's one extra step you can take. For example, in ChatGPT, you can connect TickTick. Install TickTick on your phone and then connect TickTick account. Just make sure that the account you connect to ChatGPT is the same one you're using for TickTick. Then in the same prompt, simply tell it add TickTick reminders for me. Once you send the prompt, the reminders will be added to your schedule and you'll get a notification when it's time to review. This way, you can keep reviewing your memorization consistently without having to remember when you're supposed to review it. So give the method a try because honestly, the results can be incredible. And if you need someone actually help you with memorization, not just check whether you're keeping up, but correct your mistakes, give you personalized guidance, and make sure you're progressing, then I'd be happy to help you. And you're more than welcome to join students who've learned with me and achieved great results. One of my students even wrote during a review that he hopes to continue memorizing the Quran with me until he completes it. You can visit my website through the link in the description to learn more. And you can also book a completely free trial lesson. And if you found this video helpful, please share it with someone who could genuinely benefit from it. I'll be sharing more content like this to help you find better ways to learn and memorize and retain the Quran.